What is up, adventurers, and welcome to a brand new ShawnSetGO video. Today we're going to be talking about a post that came up that I think brought up a lot of interesting lore that I hadn't looked at or really even remembered for a little bit of time, and then went back into it and I was like, let's talk about it a little bit more. And that is this post right here that says, is it really hard to understand why Algalon thought Azeroth needed a reset? And it says, Algalon coming to Azeroth to find out why Prime Designate died. Loken stole the role of Prime Designate. The real Prime Designate is trapped somewhere. Most Earthen have become flesh mutants. Most Keepers are dead or missing. The dragon aspects are killing each other. The world exploded. 2 gods have breached containment. And then, of course, you know, demons and, you know, the void. So with those things, I mean, it seems almost reasonable that what happened in Ulduar came to pass, as it were. So some of the posts here that say, there's no arguing to his Titan standards. Algalon should call a reset. The issue with it is that it would kill all player characters, so we can't let that happen. I mean, if there was a way to like preserve it, you know, like give us like an arc of some sort, then it'd be okay, maybe. Exactly, the nuance about the Titans that I love, they aren't doing this out of malice, it's just a necessary evil to them. This is why I've been leery of the narrative the new writers are pushing, where the Titans have actually been deceiving us the whole time and actually have sinister plans for Azeroth. That takes all the nuance out and just makes them regular mustache twirling villains. Because the idea is that like, as the Titans go and look for others, they're bringing life, and so like it's almost like they're definitely to us as we perceive God. You know, these things that sort of like Eco from Guardians of the Galaxy, just like, hey, you know, let's life, you know, like just making life, as it were. It's exactly the same amount of nuance before, though. The motives haven't changed. We're just become more exposed to the fact that we mean nothing to them, that our goals are opposed to theirs. I think that's kind of short-sighted way of looking at it, because I think if you diminish the Titans' perspective to, oh, it was all just their own personal plot all along, it just be kind of, it diminishes it and narrows it, in my opinion. But in Chronicle, the Titans see themselves as protectors of the mortals that manifest on the planet they order, which is a story told from their perspective. Especially, I mean, the reason why Algalon is there is the celestial, the human manifestation of of stars, essentially, right? And they're there to see, like, hey, we want to make sure these are good. But the reset was always put in place as this thing of like, we want to preserve life, and the best way sometimes is just to hit a reset button. We want to make sure that these are still, you know, defensible, and that we're preserving life. Ultimately, it is a apocalyptic event, but it's still keeping it a habitable planet. If you have a sick batch of farm animals and you think you need to put them down to save the rest of your animals, I think you'd still consider yourself a protector of your animals if you put them down. You might also consider yourself a protector by putting your animals in cages or pens. It's for their own good, since they'd probably be killed or hurt themselves if left alone or in the wilds. I think the Titans probably view themselves as benevolent, but I imagine the nuance will come down to whether their ethics and goals align with our own. I suppose you could say, I mean, you could say that the Titans, you know, their goals have changed. Their goals have advanced in a way to where it's like, well, we have the life that on our planets. Now we want to utilize those planets to different ends. You know, I could see that in a way. In Chronicles, they arrive on elemental dominant planet and started spouting an order everywhere, killing off everything that doesn't agree with them in their views. It's also canonized to be Titan's POV, not Chronicles. Not that Chronicles are a lie. In fact, that there are plenty of things that are pretty true to the game, but all the bias and views of cosmology are Titan cited. Okay, so sort of like a Warhammer-esque, you know, like the everything is biased to a certain degree. Like the truth of it is very it's very there's a lot of skepticism behind it. The old gods are warping our minds after so many encounters with them. It's not the writing. It's not the writing making the Titans bad out of nowhere. It's deeply established, and this is what the old gods do. Can it be both? Can it possibly be both? If that's the conclusion, then all the attempts of making Titans seem evil would be great writing, not gonna lie. Us squaring up against Titan plans at the end of the expansion just to realize that we were really all dumb all along and realized the Sith Sinister by stopping them. Yeah. I definitely think you can almost trick yourself that like bad writing becomes good writing once you get too deep into it, because like it's like they're thinking about it. It's like it's super meta, but I personally don't believe that's the truth. Also, have you not seen the player base? Oh dear lord. Yeah, the world has one heck of a toxic murder hobo infestation. Yeah, that's it's Captain Grimm has a great video about the player base invading hell, and I think it's so true. Did someone say Thunder Fury Blessed Blade of the Windseeker? Dear lord. Oh my god, too much. I find it amusing that we almost kill him. He understands that we deserve to live, helps us cancel the origination, and then hangs out outside Ulduar with a pet bunny. Did we canonically almost kill him? I was under the impression that we just impressed how hard we were trying, despite us having no chance against him. I would say it was more of like... I would say it's more of like an actual stalemate in the situation where it's like we're fighting and maybe like admittance of like, oh wow, you know, like this is sort of a we're at a standstill in this moment. That or it's just like all right, sure, I'll let it be, like we're children or something like that. I mean, we technically are. All I know is everyone except for me consumed the artifact power item defense construct identifier when it explicitly states marks the bearer as one exempt from the annihilation protocols. I tried to warn them. They didn't and wouldn't listen or read. Yeah. It's about as emotional as you seeing a corrupted hard drive and wanting to wipe it, that all programs decide to take control and keep you from doing it. Jesus, what kind of computers you guys have? I don't get why the Titans didn't just immediately re-originate Azeroth. If the mortal races are important to the defense of Azeroth, then just hide them in the Emerald Dream until they can use their Titan powers to make the planet habitable again. That's a good idea, actually. Gotta chalk that up to writers didn't think of it. As far as we could tell, they didn't actually know what was up until extremely recently. Odin and Ra were both out of commission, and Loken was so evil, so no messages were being sent. Yeah, he destroyed like basically the machine pope, our voice, the voice of God. They were just slowly falling to pieces, and they didn't have a chance to update until a chance at an update. Yeah, the Windows update. They didn't hit restart now, like update and restart, you know, like something like that. Until Algalon, and he canceled the message, so that was another chance of getting updated on what was going on, and they missed. They didn't get a look at what was happening on Azeroth until like Legion. Even then, they didn't get the whole breadth of what was going on. They had other more pressing things going on. Yeah. Right, his reset button was under the assumption that the Titans' defenses had all fallen and the old gods had broken free, which in any case is a total apocalypse to both all of life and the world soul too. It is the worst case scenario they tried very hard to prevent from happening. Evaporating the surface of the planet is extreme but reasonable and logical, and I think that often the mistake in cold rational people often mistake that cold rationality for malevolence. It's not evil. Nothing about them is. They have a goal and they're trying to protect that agenda. Most of the time, it's in our interests too, but sometimes it's not. It's okay to disagree on something. It doesn't mean that the other side is always bad or evil. I think the fact that something that would directly affect the players, or wipe out the players, and the person holding all that power can be convinced, knowing all the possible iterations of what could occur, and experience, like experiencing all that moment and making that change, I think tells that Titans do have the capability of, I wouldn't say feeling, but understanding that not everything is black and white. And I think in that does input that there is a possibility of more, but I don't think that inputs that the possibility of them being moral creatures. I don't think Algalon chose to spare us in that moment out of mercy, is what I mean. So I think it's a good idea not to put emotions with those things, even the possibility of evil. I don't think that's a great idea. Honestly, that's basically the only reason why the Jailer's plan made sense to me. I know the lore in the Shadowlands was all over the place, but the dude wanted to re-originate the entire universe because he's a machine that foresaw something absolutely horrible that would throw the cosmos in the realms into chaos, where the only sure way of stopping was literally to re-originate everything starting fresh. Yeah, I get that, but I think it was just done so poorly, and that's why people weren't going to jump into that. People weren't going to jump on board with something like that. It was done too much in a sloppy way, I think is the reason why. So, I think the problem is that they jumped the shark with he wants to originate the universe rather than he wants to originate the Shadowlands. Exactly. So like we're now experiencing Shadowlands and we're like, oh, okay. So this is a shift in like how Shadowlands functions, like how things are spread out, like what Bastion does, you know, like what each person has a job, you know, like essentially like the gods, Hades, Zeus, like let's change how this is arranged, where people go when they die. Like let's modify that. And then it's like, no, it's everybody. It's like, oh, okay, my bad, I guess. So throw this Azeroth in the trash. Still learning a lot about WoW lore. Picked it up again after a small go at Shadowlands when it was current. Psyched to play a dwarf race under the Horde. But Windfall Tort getting the Earthen unlocked. Now I'm reading into the Titan construct lore and the Curse of the Flesh. Wouldn't have made any of those connections without the meme. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, like the lore gets exceedingly deep once you explore outside of the game. I think it's just best to do it in like a YouTube video. No, he was definitely right, and he should just let the world get re-originate, to be honest. Instead, now we have Vulpera. Good job, guys. Vulpera hate in 2025. Get with the times, man. Don't forget mechanomes and fat humans. Those two races are cool, though, unlike Vulpera. Oh, man, that's a that's a lot. So I thought I would end this video with a little bit of lore, because this made me want to bring up a video. But then for those of you who may be a bit on the unknowing side of like what this meme references, there's this video by this creator right here, short 5-minute video talking about Algalon and that scenario. Feel free to watch in your own leisure. It's about 5-minute video, but I thought we would at least react and listen to the voice lines that play at the end. So we listen to this real quick, react to it real quick. I haven't watched it in some time, so I thought it would be kind of cool to do.
Translocation complete. Commencing planetary analysis of Azeroth. Stand back, mortals. I'm not here to fight you. It is in the universe's best interest to re-originate this planet should my analysis find systemic corruption. Do not interfere.
Do it.
Your actions are illogical. All possible results for this encounter have been calculated.
This is us fighting.
The Pantheon will receive the Observer's message regardless of outcome. Analysis complete. There is partial corruption in the planet's life support systems, as well as complete corruption in most of the planet's defense mechanisms.
Eesh. Did we do that?
Begin uplink. Reply code Omega. Planetary re-origination requested.
He sent an email.
My fate, Bronzen. If the signal is not transmitted in time, re-origination will proceed regardless. Save your world. The stars come to my aid. I lack the strength to transmit the signal. You must hurry. Find a place of power close to the skies. See your world through my eyes, a universe so vast as to be immeasurable, incomprehensible even to your greatest minds.
I think it's always okay to have these type of stories where I'm gonna unpause this a second, but where I think the concept of what we understand is so small, but we get a sneak peek into what that is and the goals and the aims, and when we see it, we begin to understand their perspective. We're not being told that we need to understand or listen. We're not being told that we need to feel how they feel, or that like to be subjected to it. But you gain an understanding of the weight of something like a celestial carries and why there has to be logic behind it. Not necessarily of, oh, boo-hoo, my life's been hard, or I have to do a lot of things, feel bad for me. Can you do this for me? No, we're kind of still at the mercy of the choice that this celestial has to make. And it's not on us to determine whether that mission is right or wrong, or morally good or morally unjust. It's on us to put a like a voice out there, maybe like an effort out there. But if nothing ever changed, then it is what it is. It is what it is.
Beware. You are out of time. Behold the tools of creation. Witness the fury of the cosmos. Loss of life unavoidable. I do what I must. I have seen worlds bathed in the Maker's flames, their denizens fading without so much as a rumor. Entire planetary systems born and raised in the time that it takes your mortal hearts to beat once.
See that the immeasurable scale of what we don't understand.
Of empathy. I have felt nothing. A million lives wasted. Had they all held within them your tenacity? Had they all loved life as you do?
Every time you shut my eyes. Sorry.
Perhaps it is your imperfection, that which grants you free will, that allows you to persevere against all cosmically calculated odds. You prevail where the Titan's own perfect creations have failed. I've rearranged the reply code. Your planet will be spared. I cannot be certain of my own calculations anymore. Farewell, mortals. Your bravery is admirable for such flawed creatures.
Brilliance. very, very brilliance. I just watching that and like listening to the voice lines, it's one of those situations where even though we're facing such a great enemy in that situation, it makes it to where you want to see not just more, but it expands the story to this level where you want to see the Ulduar, the Ulduar expansion, like everything the Titans have to offer. You wish it wasn't just, something that was part of something else, part of another expansion. And I think it's stories like this that give the lore such weight and strength, but it's not all the time that this kind of stuff happens. I'm thankful that I got to play when this first came out, but I guess moving forward, from the meme and everything like that, I hope that the strength that this had, like as such powerful lore in the game, I hope we can see more of it. I hope it continues in that direction. But anyways, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.